to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name's Mike Anastasia, and with me today with Brandon.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about games.
Absolutely. Can I share a weird story with you before
Sure.
we actually go live? I mean, because we're gonna do a watch along with the state
Yeah.
of play today and give our thoughts along the way as it's going on. So the other night, um, my computer was taking a really long time to update.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it updated itself to Windows 11,
What was it at before?
10.
Oh.
I had opted into Windows 11 when it was first announced,
Mm-hmm.
but my motherboard didn't have the correct equipment to install it. Apparently, they removed that need.
Requirement? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it installed Windows 11 overnight. So now I'm on
Oh,
Windows 11, and I
surprise.
didn't know it was gonna happen. And I'm getting what's the word I'm looking for? Acclimated? I don't know, used to. I guess I'll
Yeah.
just say used to how to use this now because it's very different.
Yeah, acclimated was the right word for it, too. And both work. No, I know what you mean. Although I will say, because at least on the Mac, we have, yearly updates. They're not usually as significant, but usually enough to throw me off.
So you know how like Mac OS has like different OS operating systems and they like completely change how things work and that sort of thing. But most of the time it's with like a new Mac Pro or whatever that a new operating system releases. Uh
Well, we get the new operating systems each year. Like,
okay, so you guys just get them.
yeah.
You're supposed to pay for the new operating systems for Windows. So to my surprise, when I woke up with a new operating system for Windows and I didn't pay for it, I was very confused.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there was something, because maybe
Well,
there are
I
certain
opted
computers
into
have
it
it.
before when it was first announced. I opted
No.
into it, but there's like a thing that you needed on the motherboard at the time,
Ah,
because of the way they had set it up. But there's a new update for my motherboard, and it actually either enabled it or there was a new update for Windows, and it disabled the need for it. So I was finally able to install it. So it was like, we see you opted into this 3 years ago. You want it now? And then just gave it to me overnight.
I know that
So,
is surprising. Especially that did it automatically and didn't tell you.
hmm
Because you need to be like, hey, by the way, we're starting this pretty big thing tonight. So you might
yeah.
want to be aware. Things might look a little
Luckily,
different.
all of my stuff just works, so I'm very happy with that. Like, I haven't run into a program that hasn't worked yet, so fingers crossed we're good with no issues there. And it doesn't seem like there are any issues, so I'm very happy about that element of it.
That's good. That's very good.
And honestly, it feels a lot more snappy. And I don't know if you know this, but the technology that like the Xbox Series X and Series S has, which allows them to add HDR to any game. That's a technology they have. It's called Auto HDR.
Hmm.
That's actually enabled in Windows 11. So my games that don't have HDR, they now have HDR as well, which is actually a very neat feature. It makes everything a little bit more vibrant and
Hmm.
colorful, and I like that element of it. So yeah, I mean, I'm liking the experience so far.
That's good. All right, we got 2 minutes to Sony.
Yep. 2 minutes until Sony.
20 minutes, 10 games.
That's what we got.
That's what they said.
How many
I
of
feel
them
like
will be VR?
that's a bit of a fast clip,
How many of them will
but
be VR? That's the question.
yeah. I mean you have to assume God of War will be here, right?
I don't think it will.
You don't
I,
think
I,
so?
no, I think they'd waste a slot by doing that since it releases in what, a month?
But they really haven't shown off anything, have they?
Yeah, they'll probably do their own thing for God of War before it releases. At
See, I
least
feel like
that's
this
what
is
I'm
just ripe
hoping.
for a trailer.
Maybe, but if that's one of the 10 games, then that sucks.
I know. And the other thing is too, and we saw this at Nintendo's show
Yeah.
earlier, which we'll talk about after this. But
Yep,
the
yep,
other thing
yep.
to keep in mind is that this presentation, likely like Nintendo's, was the TGS clearinghouse. Like, hey,
Mm.
we gotta announce some shit real fast before TGS starts.
Yep.
So let's just get it. Let's get those trailers out there. So I'm guessing that's, especially since they said this is featuring a lot of their Japanese partners. I'm guessing that's what we're gonna get to.
I see, I
Um,
see.
but we're gonna find out in 35 seconds.
Yep.
Any Any last minute prediction for you? Yakuza,
Well, that was supposed to get an announcement, so it probably will today, or at least
Silent
like
Hill,
no, I don't think we're getting anything Silent Hill related.
Metal Gear
Um,
remake.
no, I do think we'll get a PC version of Judgment today announced.
Okay.
So that's a Yakuza game. But it's a spin-off, but it's one of the only ones not on PC right now. So I'm thinking that will come in either here or at Sega's upcoming conference. But
Mm-hmm.
let's see, let's see. Here we go, black screen. All right, I don't know if we're gonna have people talking to us. I hope we don't. I hope it's just game, 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 game. You know what I mean?
Well, their transitions are so awkward, so I don't know
Well,
which
we're starting
one.
with game, so here we go. Is this Killzone?
It looks like Killzone.
No, this is Tekken.
Oh.
I like Tekken. So Tekken's actually one of my favorite fighting games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for this already.
Yeah, well, you're very much more hyped than I am already. I can tell you that.
Well, you're not a fighting game person.
No, I know. Tekken is one that does like almost nothing for me.
Tekken's very technical. Even fighting game players don't like Tekken. So I like it. I like the technical aspect of it and how a lot of the actual fighters are based off of real world like martial artists. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, his eyes glowing.
That's
He
true.
must be angry.
He's a demon. This does look pretty though. I do like
when
this.
when he fell on the ground, it looked like milk spilt out, though. I don't know.
He was
Yeah.
breaking the rocks. It cracked the rock below him, and then yep, there we go. There's the demon, angel wing, sick. All right, now don't fuck it up. That's all I have to say. We got 2 fighting games coming out. We got Tekken 8, and we got Capcom Street Fighter, and both of them have a likelihood of being fucked up. But I think Tekken would do pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, here's your talking person.
Yeah, but okay.
Star Wars.
So am I the only one that's just sick of Star Wars at this point?
No, you're not. They've Disney killed this Star Wars.
I mean, it seems like there's a new show for Star Wars every 3 seconds.
Yep, a new show, a new movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
Granted, the Star Wars VR games have been good so far, so I do think this might end up being good as well.
That
We'll
could
have
be.
to see.
This
I just have
trailer
Star
looks
Wars fatigue.
just like the last time I saw it, though. Yeah, no, but I agree. I think everyone has Star Wars fatigue at this point. And especially, too, because I feel like they just, like this so far, they're like, oh, let's go back to Tatooine. Everyone's sick of the first movie, too. Like, I think that's what they do.
Wait, that just said 2023. That means PSVR is definitely coming out next year.
Oh,
This is a good game. This is a good game. I know this game.
Did they formally announce the VR
They have
date,
not.
though?
They have not, so I think they may have just leaked that.
No, I'm pretty sure they did. I thought me and Nick talked about it. Maybe
I may have missed that one then. I may have missed that one. So this game's really good. I have this game already because it's also on the Oculus. Essentially, this is Dungeons and Dragons, where each gameplay session is randomized. However, like you have to actively roll the real dice, and but instead of being speaky and that sort of thing, like you would with an actual Dungeons and Dragons, your movements are dictated by a card pool. So you have a pool of cards, and then you can do certain things using the cards that you draw. But it's very good. So cool to see that coming to something else. I hope it has crossplay, but it is Sony, so we'll see what happens there.
I know. And Sony did say it was about 2 weeks ago. PlayStation VR 2's early 2023.
Okay. Outside Japan for the first time, is it Yakuza Ishin? It's not. I wish it was though. Oh my god, it's I think that wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, am I right? This is Yakuza Ishin? I'm right! Holy shit! No, actually I don't know. But it kinda looks like it. Okay. This is Yakuza Ishin. This game, I've been wanting to play this game forever, but it has no English version.
Oh, well, that's cool.
It came out on PlayStation 3. This is old. So yeah, it's the only Yakuza game that uses primarily a sword, and it takes place a very long time ago.
Oh yeah, it makes sense for the time frame.
During the Edo period, I think? I don't know exactly, but it's like alternate universe Yakuza. Yeah! I'm so excited. Holy shit, it comes out around my birthday. Yes! Yes! There's our new Yakuza.
Why are they just calling it Like a Dragon then?
Because that's the current what's the word I'm looking for? So Like a Dragon is the current title of their Yakuza games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like how they used to have Yakuza Kiwami. I think that's essentially what they're doing.
Oh, okay. This is Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, this is the Harry Potter game.
Okay. This game's been in development forever.
Oh, so this is yeah, okay.
It looks nice though. I've never seen a
That
Harry
was
Potter thing, so I don't have any interest. But
that was something different.
what?
What we just saw was something different.
Than the Harry Potter thing?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
What is this? Got a
Like the
lot of
Strange
horror vibes
Seven.
going on.
Yeah, it does. Creepy Jeep driving.
What is this? Was Silent Hill?
Well, I mean, it could be.
I doubt it.
Oh no, definitely not. Oh, maybe.
No.
Car's very angry right now.
Yeah, it is. This is weird.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it though. Is this another VR title?
I mean, I kind of thought it was because it had the. It looked like VR.
Okay, it's just a random new game. All right, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Looks kind of cool. Didn't see a VR tag there, so guess it's not
Or maybe it's both.
possible. That's their first game. What is this? Oh, oh yeah, I haven't signed up for that. Have you? Can you sign up for it yet?
I don't even know what it is.
So it's like the thing where you could trade in points for like it's basically like the Xbox one where all right, let's see what you got. These are actually kind of cool.
Well, what do you do with them?
Just collect them, I guess.
No, but I mean, but where?
Probably its own app.
I just found out yesterday that some people are really into like those because Nintendo has that Avatar thing
Hmm.
that they've been doing.
So my friend says it looks like it's PlayStation NFTs.
Yeah, it's Nick.
What?
Nick just said that.
Oh, I didn't see that. It was said in my other chat.
Oh,
Literally.
yeah, Nick just sent a message. Sony NFTs, huh?
Yo, is this Armor Core? No. But what is this? Because this looks cool. I don't know. They're doing the Armor Core slide, but I don't think this is Armor Core. I'll be very surprised if it is.
It's Xenoblade 4.
Okay, that's just a new thing. All right, cool.
Clank 3.
Sin
Nice.
duality.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's just a thing.
Bandai Namco, it says.
I mean, it looked cool. I liked it. All right, PS5 console exclusives. Also means they're coming to PC. That's what they're saying without saying it. This is the one about dinosaurs from Capcom.
Oh, I don't know.
Why is the fucking frame rate so bad?
That's not your internet.
Up, shift up.
Who are they?
I don't know.
Oh.
But it didn't say Capcom, so I was like, oh, it's not Capcom. The Matrix anime edition. This looks cool. I like that music. Very platinum-esque.
It reminds me a lot of that last game we were just talking about. The Bandai Namco one.
This was probably another Bandai Namco game. This is the one that looked like Nier, I think, when we originally saw it. I think this is a combination of Platinum and Dark Souls. It's kind of got the whole timing thing down. You see what I mean? Like
Oh,
when
yeah.
she blocks the swords. And it's got the like flourish of like a Platinum game. Like, look at that gun. We're shooting a railgun in space.
Very.
All I know is I like this.
Yeah, it seems like a game that'd be right up your alley.
Mm-hmm. This is a very me game. Oh, this is Project Eve. Okay.
What does that say?
I don't know.
Stato Blade?
I think it said Stetter Blade.
I don't know.
I
Blade.
don't fucking
Let's
know.
call it Blade.
We'll just call it Blade, the game, and then it's got vampires. Oh, Koei Tecmo. I love Koei Tecmo.
Sometimes. This is definitely Sony saying, hey, we don't hate Japanese games.
100%. Because honestly, I've felt like it lately that they hate Japanese games. This looks cool as fuck. Also, Assassin's Creed did it first.
Yeah, no, this is a total Assassin's Creed vibe.
I don't know about that. Oh, that's
Um,
fucking sick.
Before the actiony part.
Mm-hmm. Rise of the Ronin. I like that. It looked very nice. I like it. I like it. It looks pretty good.
Oh, it sure will be great in 2 years.
I'd rather it be in 2 years than early. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's it? That was fucking quick.
But I said they were only doing 10 games.
Okay, here's your God of War. to waste a spot.
It's the biggest game this year. They have to do it.
I know, but you'd think they'd do their own state of play for it.
I think it's because they just want to get the
But
game
they didn't
comes
even do it
out
for
in
God of
like a
War. They
month.
did it for a controller.
Oh no!
They didn't even do it for God of War. They did it for a controller.
Oh no, Sony! Sony!
Hold on. Here comes the game.
Okay.
Why are you dropping your blade, my dude? Those are the... Okay, we'll drop everything. Alright, that's fine. It's very hard to comment on this because this is just really fucking good.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a nice trailer. It looks nice. It's got to
It
work. I
does.
mean, it really doesn't remind me. Doesn't seem anything too far away from what they did in the last one so far.
No, not really. I mean, it's just got a lot of different... what's the word I'm looking for? Locations. Like, I've seen them in many different places right now.
Yeah, go between caves and ice worlds and jungles and
Space? Honestly, it looks really good. Like, this is one I can't just be like, yeah, but, no.
oh, I'm
Sony
sure it will be good.
knocks it out of the park with this.
They
It's
have
like,
to.
I'm going to assassinate the sun. Okay, that was fucking sick. There's really cool creatures here this time.
Yeah, mine's on point.
Big fan of Fat Thor. 11/9/2022. I mean, it looks great.
I mean, it's pretty impressive how this game has evolved since like PlayStation 2.
It really is.
And that's PlayStation.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was alright.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
I mean, for me, I was very excited about the Yakuza as well as Tekken 8. Tekken 8 is something I'm very excited for.
Yeah, I don't think
Tekken
there's
8 for
anything.
me is like you getting another Smash Brothers announced. That's how much I like Tekken.
We'll see, Brandon. We don't know if it's good yet or not. It could be horrible. It
I
could
mean, I don't
be
think there's been a bad Tekken game. Like 6 was okay, but it wasn't bad. 7 was great.
I don't know anything about Tekken games. I got nothing. My favorite Tekken game is Smash Ultimate. That's all I got for
That's fair because I think most of the people who worked on Tekken
you.
also worked on that.
Oh, that is true.
That was pretty alright. I like that.
You ready to talk about this? Moving on, you ready to talk about this Nintendo Direct news?
Yeah, I had a thing pulled up with all the Nintendo Directs, so let me just refresh my memory real quick. Yeah, sure. Let's. This is not in order, you fucks.
They never are.
No, sometimes they have it like everything that was announced in chronological order, and it's like okay, but like most of the time they don't. Can we start by talking about how the leaked Fire Emblem is actually real?
Yeah, I mean, I think that leak just it seemed incredibly legitimate, so it didn't surprise me terribly much that it was. But as soon as you saw the dual color hair, you were like, "Oh, yep, that's definitely the one."
That's the leak. That's the thing.
This is the game that Nintendo's apparently been sitting on for a while.
Yeah.
That's finished.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Also, it looked really good. Like,
yeah,
really good.
I mean, at least up front, I like the idea, I like the concept.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The only thing that I don't know about yet, and it is way too early, because obviously we're gonna get more information as we get closer. But I really did love like the story loop that you had from Three Houses,
Yeah.
and how it pulled everything together. I hope we get something like that here. If it's there, we didn't see it yet.
I feel like it's going to be more of like the story of heroes from the past because of the fact that like you have that magical ring, I guess, that allows you to summon the heroes from the past from the other emblems. And I like that idea because it makes me think of something like what's it called? Like Persona, essentially. So
Yeah,
I like that.
it reminded me a lot of what was the game, no, not none of those things. The phone game, Fire Emblem Heroes, where they're
Okay.
pulling in the characters from the other dimensions.
Well, that's just a gacha game, so of course you got to find some way to get all the characters from other dimensions.
You do, but there is like an overlying story that has to do with like Marth and all that other kind of stuff. So I mean, there is some of that there. I did also get a little bit of you said Persona vibe. I did think of Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
I mean,
a little
same
bit
thing.
too.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I think it looks great though. I'm pretty excited for that. That one's really cool.
Yeah, I think it will be good, and it's January launch, so
Yep, January 20th.
So it won't be too long before we see it. They're going to start right off the year with the
I
Fire
didn't
Emblem.
think the special edition looked good though. It's like, here's a poster and a steelbook and a few art cards and an art book. It's like, haven't they had like way better Fire Emblem special editions? Isn't that like the thing that everyone wants most of the time when they release one?
I don't know. The only one I ever bought was the Fire Emblem like 35th anniversary edition, where they did
Even
the
that was the one that came with the like boxed fucking Nintendo game that wasn't actually, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was sick.
Oh, that was an awesome collector's edition. I think it's very rare for me to buy a collector's edition. That is one I actually bought. Honestly, I can't really think of any of the other ones. I don't know, but that one, yeah, I do agree. That one didn't really do anything for me.
Oh, there was the one for 3DS that came with both games, and then the third game also in it. Remember that one?
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
So that was like a cool collector's edition because that was the only way you could get that game before they released it digitally. So that was cool.
Well, I think the third one just only came digitally. I think it was the 2 and then a download code for the third.
No. That was a physical cartridge, wasn't there? Because that's why everyone wanted it.
No, it was for one and for both, but I still think the third branch was digital.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah, double check. I could be wrong.
3DS Fire Emblem. I don't remember what it was called, so I'm
Fates.
Fates. Third game.
Did you figure it out?
Not exactly. Radiant Path was the name of the third game, right?
No. Revelation was the third path. Let's see what this says.
I don't know.
Yeah, it says here in North America the physical versions were released first in February, with the third storyline coming later as DLC in March.
Okay. Well, that must have been it then.
Yeah, because there's something weird about it. I don't remember what it was. I think it just wasn't out right away or something. I actually never finished Revelations. I should finish that at some point.
All right, let's move on from that one. Go to the next thing. So the next thing that was announced was It Takes Two for Switch.
Yeah, which leaked beforehand.
Which what?
That one leaked beforehand, but that was...
I did not know that. Yeah, so I actually really like this game. Like, it's a very good game. It was in my top 5, I believe, for Game of the Year. And I mean, it's just an incredible game. Did you get to play this game yet?
No.
You should definitely play this with your significant other. It's a very, very good game.
All right, let's see. I mean, give it a do it. See how it goes.
It's very dark too. Like the general storyline is dark for the game. So to not like spoil too much, I don't know how much you know about this game. Do you know anything about this game?
Yeah, a bit, because you talked about it quite a bit before.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're playing as a husband and wife, and they're thinking about getting a divorce, and that's like what starts the game essentially. So, yeah, it's very, very good though. It's very, very good. So highly recommend that one. Moving on from that, I'm actually just kind of scrolling through the video to see what came next. Oh, next week,
was next.
the Fatal Frame that was on Wii, the Wii that was never released in the US, got announced for the Switch. So that's cool. I think this was a good one, right? This was a good one, wasn't it?
I thought it was. I don't know. I was disappointed with the Wii U one, but I would try this one.
That's when it started going downhill. Wii U and on, basically.
I think that was there's been one since the Wii U one.
There were 2, weren't there?
I don't think so. Maybe there's a Wii U one, and then they released the Wii U one for the Switch and other systems.
Made in the Blackwater?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Nintendo has some weird co-ownership of the Fatal Frame license now, too.
That's weird.
Yeah. So I'm not really sure how that fits into everything. But yeah, I mean, it is nice to see it. Like I said, I'll keep my eye out for it. It's coming next year. It'll be a fun Halloween game or something.
Yeah, maybe something to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Next, you got some DLC announced for your game. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Yep.
Yeah, new hero and challenge mode. We already knew. Don't care.
Okay.
This
Thank
is
goodness, because I had nothing to say about this game.
no, a lot of the stuff that's in here from this, like this, I think is a good, very much. Like this would have normally just been a tweet, and it's just like I don't know why you shoved this in here. Okay, whatever.
My only
Um,
guess is maybe they'll show it off at TGS.
Nintendo doesn't even go to TGS, so they're not going to show it off.
Shit, you're right.
Yeah, that's it. It just, I think it was just kind. I mean, they announced the date. It's a month away. That's cool. I'm still on the fence whether or not I'll buy the expansion pass before the big DLC comes out or not. Um, but yeah, I'm just like whatever. I just don't know if there's enough extra content there for me to want to
Hmm.
play it early and or just wait until it's all there. So that's just where I am on it. I'm just kind of like I said, it was just kind of this really didn't need to be here kind of thing for me. So, but then we got Fist of the North Star
No, no, no,
Boxing
no, 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 no,
Day.
no, 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 no. I'm mad about that, but we got to go into the other thing. We got a new THQ SpongeBob game, and if you've played THQ's other SpongeBob games, they're quite good. And this might be something to look out for, because like Rehydrated was good. Battle for Bikini Bottom is good as well. So like those are like very good staples of like collectathon um platformers. So having a brand new SpongeBob game announced with the original cast and everything is actually pretty sick. So that was announced next. So that's cool. I
Okay.
actually think it looks really good. Gonna be honest there. But that's also for other games as well. Fuck you for Fitness Boxing Fist of the North Star. That really upset me because I thought I was gonna get something good with Fist of the North Star.
Maybe
I'm
it's a
so
good
upset about that.
fitness boxing game,
But it's not a new Fist. Hold on. It's not a new Fist of the North Star though. That's the problem.
but maybe it is just the fitness boxing instead.
I don't give a shit. I wanted like a beat 'em up again. I wanted like a
Yeah,
good
you could
Fist of the
beat
North
him
Star
up to
game.
the beat. Exactly,
I'm
Brandon.
gonna beat you up. Who the fuck's even making this game? Like, who the fuck is the
Uh,
dev? I don't even see a name. This is just gonna come into existence. It's just, uh, it looked. I can't even pretend like I was happy about this. I looked over at Katie while we were watching because we watched this live, and she saw me so excited, and then she saw my excitement just straight up fall off a cliff, and then she just started laughing at me.
yeah, this is just, I don't even know why this was in here.
Hmm.
It was just regrettable. But
Yeah,
not the most regrettable thing in this presentation.
really.
Oh, there's something way worse.
Okay. For me, it was pretty huge. A lot of regret. So then we got one of the Game of the Year's contenders announced for the Switch. So definitely play Tunic when you have a chance. Tunic is like The Legend of Zelda, um, playing as a fox with some Dark Soulsy like elements in it, but it's not like super hard or anything. But one of the very inventive things about this game that they actually talk about during the direct is the only way you can kind of solve the puzzles and understand how the game plays is by reading the manual. But the manual's written in a fake language. So you kind of have to take context clues into account and learn what the manual's trying to tell you to do. And as you play this game, you learn more moves that you can do in this game. And it like kind of unfolds and that sort of thing. It kind of harkens back to like the days before you could just go on the internet and look stuff up. Clearly, you could do that for this game, but the game itself also feels like very um old, very like hands off, where it's like you just kind of have to figure out what to do on your own. And like there aren't even like tooltips because they're written in a fake language that you have to figure out while you're playing. So there's no real tips there. You can only go by what you see visually and learn from your mistakes and learn from how the game plays and that sort of thing. Very inventive game. Very, very well made. Highly recommend playing it. It's coming to Switch in they say November or October?
September 27th.
Okay, it's coming in at the beginning. I mean, at the end of this month, at the end of this month. So
2 weeks.
highly recommend looking into this game. I really do think you would really like this one, Mike, and I really do think it would end up being a Game of the Year contender for you as well. If you have Game Pass, it is on Game Pass, so I recommend it on there as well. If you want to play it earlier, it's just overall a fantastic game. So there you go.
Sounds neat.
It is indeed very neat and very much worth your time. So there you go. Moving on from that, we got our peek at Front Mission 1, 2, and 3. So like I guess they're just going balls deep into this one because yeah, the remakes of these, having 3 of them back to back is pretty nuts.
Yeah, Square Enix is definitely putting a lot of resources to use lately.
Yeah, not only that, but like, Front Mission hasn't had a new game in ages. And I mean, if you like mechs and if you like games like Fire Emblem or XCOM and that sort of thing, I mean, I would recommend checking this out because like this is like Fire Emblem but for mech fans or Advanced Wars but for mech fans. So definitely recommend looking into this one, guys. I think it's nuts that they were like, Front Mission 2 remake. Oh, also Front Mission 3, get fucked,
I know.
They just kind of brought everything out.
Also surprising that, just kind of side note for this whole direct, but it just kind of was disappointing that we didn't see Advance Wars at all.
Yeah. I'm wondering what they're doing with that game. What's going to happen to it? Are they just going to quietly cancel it? That's what I'm curious about.
It's already done. I'm sure it will come out eventually. Question is how long.
Yeah. So after that we got a remake of Okay, so it's not a remake, but it is at the same time. So this is Story of Seasons, and it's kind of going back to like what one of the original plots and gameplay style was for Harvest Moon. So it's like we're not even pretending that we're not Harvest Moon anymore. Shit, hold on. But there's one very specific thing I want to talk about with this game, and you may have noticed it too, because I think even you, without your vast knowledge of frame rates and everything, looked at this game and was like, this game looks like it's running at 2 FPS when the grass was on screen. This game looks like it runs horribly. Like
honestly, as soon as I saw Farm Simulator, I was like,
dude, okay. All right, hold on. I just want you to see this. I know you'll be able to see it. So I'm gonna okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just link you to this one part of the thing. It'll be in the chat, right? I want you to look at this and just see how bad the frame rate is. So like click play and it should start right up. It is awful.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
So that's a thing. But like anytime there's not grass, it looks pretty good. So that's pretty cool. Maybe they'll sort that out, or maybe they won't be able to because we're playing on a Nintendo Switch.
Or maybe you can just grow the grass and not worry about it.
You're a farmer. You're supposed to be growing the grass.
Why would you grow grass?
For the animals.
They can eat wheat or something.
We got our first Splatfest announced for Splatoon 3 after that.
Yeah, this also should have been a tweet.
Yeah.
But, sure.
This just made me want to play Splatoon 3, honestly.
I know. Splatoon 3 is great.
What would you bring to a deserted island, Mike?
I probably would bring games just because I like Big Man the best, and that's who I think was sitting as the games thing, so that's what I would pick. Because Big Man is the best of all the new people.
Katie was just like thinking from like a logical standpoint. She was like, I would get gear and bring it with me so that I could get grub and then I'd be able to have fun. Like, oh, okay, so I guess you just get all of it if you get gear. All right.
I mean, I guess you could build your own games, but I mean, you could just build your own tools too. You know?
Yeah.
It'd just be like Survivor. It'd be fun. And then if you have grub, I mean, I guess you don't. If you have grub, you really don't need all the other things. Then you don't have to worry about working, so you don't need the tools. But I guess you still need to build a shelter or whatever. It's not going to help you.
That's why you need gear. But gear could get you all of those things.
Yeah, but you could just have grub and then live in a cave, and then you'll be fine, I guess. But still, I would just go with fun. Because that's what Big Man wants. That's what Big Man gets. Because we are all in on Big Man.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but that's okay.
He's the big manta ray. That's his name.
Okay.
Big Man. He's awesome. He's a dancing manta ray.
Can we go on to the next thing now?
I guess.
Okay, Octopath Traveler 2 was announced. And it still looks incredible. Just like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, the engine still looks so good.
It does. It really made me want to go back through and finish Octopath Traveler.
Same.
1.
Same, absolutely.
because I still hadn't. I don't remember. I didn't get terribly far into it,
Same, like maybe
and
8 or 10 hours.
yeah, I think it's about where I ended up stopping too. And I guess the nice thing about the game is because like the segmented approach, it's not like I really felt like I would be missing anything by picking it back up
Hmm.
again in the middle. I don't know. I guess I'll see if I do decide to do it. But the music was always great,
Yep.
and the art style was great,
Hmm.
and story is a little disjointed because of the nature of it. But yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, I think this looks really good. I mean, I actually think this looks better than the first one, at least from like the different stories they were presenting in the trailer. And I like the idea of the multiple boats going across lakes and stuff like that. I don't know. It just looked good. It just looked really good. So
Okay.
excited to play that. I hope this is coming to other systems. I'm pretty sure it's already been announced for PS5.
It
So
was
that's cool.
not PlayStation, something Xbox, I think.
Let me look at my other chat real quick. Oh shit, Octopath Traveler 2 also announced to be coming to PlayStation as well. Nice. Okay.
Oh,
Nope,
okay.
PlayStation. It
All right.
hasn't been announced for Xbox, surprisingly. Which is weird because it's on Game Pass, the first one. In
Yeah.
case you didn't know that.
No, I did know that.
And the
And
first
I
one's
don't.
really good. Like,
Is the
I don't
first
know.
one not on PlayStation?
No, it is not. That's why it's weird that
Yeah. That's
it's
why
on
maybe that's why I thought it
PlayStation
was
now.
Xbox. All
Yeah,
right.
no, I agree. I agree.
And it's also an early 2023 game, February. So
Yep,
that'll be
yep.
nice.
So we'll move on from that and go on to the next thing. Just it looked great. Uh Another farming game. You probably aren't interested in it. It
Don't
was.
care.
It kind of looks like a cross between Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, and Stardew Valley, and I was like, okay, this looks neat. Online multiplayer, 4 players. Cool, cool, cool. So, moving on from that.
There's way too many farm games in this direct.
So I feel like one person saw how well Stardew Valley did, and they just went, I can do that, and then they just produced like 20,000 fucking farm games. Because here's the thing, there were so many in other things lately as well. So many announced lately as well. So I feel like we're gonna have the Souls like and the farm sim as a big staple. I can't wait until we get the Souls like farm sim.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming.
Oh yeah, it's maybe it already has. Maybe it's that
Harvestella.
yeah, maybe it's that. I don't know. We'll see. All right, but moving on
Well, you
from
can
that.
download the demo.
Hold on, because moving on from that, we go to what my favorite announcement of the entire direct was. Uh, I'm going in order, but I know you're not following along. So do you know what you want to take a
Well,
guess? What my favorite
the
announcement
website
was?
I'm using is kind of in order, and I'm pretty sure because this is the one game on the direct that I saw, and I'm like, Brandon is definitely buying this. And then I saw what the DLC was, and I'm like, oh, he's definitely buying this.
Yep, you are 100% right.
And that
So
is a Fiat Rhythm.
yeah, Theat Rhythm is one of my favorite games from 3DS. And seeing them redo it for the Switch and add all the DLC, including Nier Automata, as well as the Octopath Traveler soundtrack, and
And Live Alive.
many, many more. Oh yeah, Live Alive as well. I can't help it. This looks excellent. I'm so excited.
Oh, I knew you were all in. I knew you were all in when I saw it originally.
It
Like pop
releases
up.
right before my birthday. I'm gonna be like, can I have
Oh, that's true.
it?
Yeah, but then once I did the DLC, I'm like, oh yeah,
Yep.
he's all in.
I was so excited the second I saw this because I love rhythm games also. They're like some of my favorites. Um, and just this one was really good on the 3DS, and I'm curious how they're gonna do it on the Switch a little bit. So we'll figure out how that goes. I really want to play it first. Like I want a little demo taste so I can see how it plays on Switch. Because you recall, a lot of this was about tapping the screen and like swiping up and that sort of thing on the 3DS. So like, what do you want me to do on the Switch? I'm not gonna like slam my hand into my screen. Granted, I've done that on other rhythm games on Switch already, but like, what do you want me to do? So
I'm sure
we'll
we'll have
see.
some sort of button control thing.
Well, it definitely showed it, but I didn't exactly understand how it would work with what they were showing.
Well, maybe they will do a demo. I feel like they did one for the 3DS at least.
They
So,
did. Each time there was a new one, they released a demo for it. So that's why I'm hoping that there is a demo for that one as well. So yeah, next we got Mario and Rabbids. Sparks of Hope.
Which
I mean,
Ubisoft showed off a little bit of it this weekend.
So
it looks nice. They did announce the deal where the DLC is going to involve Rayman somehow.
I did see that, yeah.
So, I mean, that's cool, I guess. I'm already excited about this game. They really didn't show me anything that was new or surprising here, based on the last couple times you've seen it. I'm excited. I'll pick it up. It's one of the few things I'm buying this fall that I still haven't pre-ordered yet because I just can't make up my mind if I want to do the gold edition or just the regular edition.
You might as well just go do the gold because you know you're going to buy it anyway.
I know, but you know what though? Last time, I bought the season pass separate because Ubisoft will put their stuff on sale pretty regularly, and they always had the season pass on sale for $5. And I was like,
I see.
I'm like, do I want to spend the extra money? Do I want to spend $90 on this game right now?
But at some point after you get the game and after they do a direct or afterwards or sometime down the line or a trailer or something, you're going to see the DLC and you're going to be like, man, I wish I would have bought the gold. You're going to have that moment.
I don't know. I didn't feel like that with the first one. If you don't remember, too.
It had Donkey Kong.
No. I was going to say, but it took me a long time to... I never finished Mario and Rabbids when it originally came out. I bought it, I got through half of it, and then I put it down for 3 years. Then I just finished it. Either last year or the year before. It wasn't that long ago. So I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I'm not excited for it, and I just can't make up my mind. We'll see. I got a month still.
Yeah.
Figure it out. So.
All right. Next, and I know you don't care about this, but Katie was the most excited about this. This is a series she's been following since the DS. This is a remake of a DS game. And actually, it looks pretty fucking good, to be completely honest. Essentially, these games are part farming simulator, part dungeon crawler. So, you get the elements you need for your farm and stuff like that by hunting things out in the dungeons. And these games are actually a lot of fun, and she enjoys them quite a bit. So this is a special edition. They did the special edition of Rune Factory 4 last year, and this is a special edition of Rune Factory 3. So I guess we're going in reverse. We'll have Rune Factory 2 in 2 years, and Rune Factory 1 will be remade from the ground up then after that. But yeah, I would actually recommend, even if you have no interest in the farming sim elements, these games are really good RPGs. And they're a lot of fun. So if you want a hack and slash RPG where you can make your own story essentially, these games are really good and highly recommend them. And they're made by Xseed. Xseed makes really, really good RPGs, and this is no exception. This one's great as well.
Okay.
After that, we got Rune Factory 6 announced by them just saying, yeah, we're making it. So that was cool. Now we head into the Nintendo Switch Online new offerings. What were your thoughts on these with the N64 games?
So, well, I was excited for some of them.
Okay.
I was really excited to see Pilot Wings.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm pretty excited for that too.
I was surprised. Well, and it was never on the Virtual Console, the Wii or the Wii U. It never came out for whatever reason.
I thought it was on the Wii. Okay, well, whatever. It's fine.
It wasn't. I was surprised. It's because considering it was a launch game for the 64, it never came out.
That's very weird.
Yeah. I was really surprised that all 3 Mario parties are on.
Yeah, especially Mario Party 1. I mean, do they want more Joy-Con drift issues? Because that's how you get them.
That's how you get them. They're probably just you know what? These people won't fuck up their hands if their Joy-Cons are drifted. Can't burn your palms this time, suckers. So, yeah, I don't know. But I'm still surprised to see them all there. I'm happy. I think that's great. Because Mario Party 2 is, I think, probably my favorite of the batch.
I was just about to ask, what's your favorite out of the 3?
Yeah, Mario Party 2. I love the theme worlds that they had. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Was 2 or 3 the one that had the Western thing on the cover? 2? That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, I don't know what's on the cover, but it had the annoying Millennium Star or whatever.
All I remember is my favorite was the one that had the Mario with the cowboy hat and everything on the cover of it. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that was great. They all got dressed up in their little costumes when they went to stages. Fantastic. That's an A+ Mario Party game right there.
Yeah, I see it right now. Yep, that's That's the one. That's my favorite. So yeah, Mario Party 2, 3, and then we have Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 announced.
Also surprised,
Yep.
disappointing that you cannot transfer Pokemon into the game.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean you only get to
So
play with rentals?
don't know. Nobody
Interesting. Maybe you
knows.
could maybe through home?
The video specifically says you can't transfer Pokemon into it.
Huh. Okay.
Could that change later on? Probably. It could. I I and I think this is a good segue kind of point here to just say too, like I was shocked that this segment ended without any other NSO announcements.
Me too. I was expecting, and we'll get to it, but the Kirby game. I was expecting that.
Which Kirby game?
The one we'll get to in a minute.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I was just I expected them to do a Game Boy. I expected them to do some sort of expansion to what they currently have available. And all we got was the trickle of N64 games into next year. We're getting 3 more this year, and then the rest that they announced are coming out next year. And then, I mean, 1080 and Excitebike 64 are two of the ones I still haven't mentioned yet. They're cool.
Yeah, 1080 was one I was very excited about, actually. Out of all of these games, it's definitely Mario Party 2 and 1080 Snowboarding. 1080 Snowboarding was like a staple of my childhood. That and like Cool Borders, as well as Snowboard Kids. Snowboard Kids is awesome.
Well, I'm really excited for the last one, which is Goldeneye. Da-da-da.
That's true. That's true.
Because that one obviously is licensed hell.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see it.
But it's not the GoldenEye remake that's been rumored for a long time.
No, it is not.
Which brings me to the point that also that was announced during this as well. That GoldenEye remake was finally announced to be coming to Game Pass.
But it's still not like the fancy one, right?
It is the fancy one.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't look at it.
Yes. So, the one thing that everyone's like torn on is there actually online multiplayer? Because that wasn't talked about, but it was specifically mentioned in the Nintendo Switch one. And then some reporters are reporting, oh, the one that's coming to Game Pass doesn't have online multiplayer, which I'm calling total bullshit on. I do not believe that for a second. But, yeah, especially since it says split screen multiplayer. I don't think they would do split screen and not online multiplayer with a remake of GoldenEye. I just feel like that's like the dumbest shit you could do. So
yeah, that'd be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it'd be the dumbest fucking thing ever.
So yeah, no, it is on Game Pass as part of Rare Replay.
Yes, you get it for free if you already have a Rare Replay.
Which I do. So I guess I get it for free.
Yep.
I think it's actually what's in my Xbox right now. Actually.
Very nice.
Yeah. When is it coming out? Let's say. For Xbox?
We do not have any confirmation for either of them, actually.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. At least I feel like, because I was kind of thinking about this when I was just...
Oh, actually, it says top stories on 007 GoldenEye. Exclusive to the new Switch version of the 1997 title will be online play. Okay, well, why is that a thing?
Brandon, I think you're reading too much into it. I think that's hyperbole. I think they're just looking at the two things and being like, well, Nintendo only said online and Microsoft did not, so they must be exclusive to Switch.
This is on the MGM website for 007 60th anniversary, announced specifically from them.
No. Okay, well then that's stupid, but whatever. Maybe that was Nintendo's concession to Microsoft. Like, it will let you put it out, but we'll let you have the nicer version, but we want online multiplayer. That's even trade. Although the multiplayer, so the online multiplayer though, because it's built into NSO.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like it's really like specially made. It's like split screen, just with different consoles.
Yeah, I'm very confused.
So I don't know. I wouldn't get too hyped up for the online multi. I mean, maybe it'll be good. I don't know if it's Nintendo. Probably won't be, but yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what they do, because I feel like that's like a swing and a miss, massively, if that is the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it's nice to see it come back. And I was going to say too, I am happy that they're giving it with Rare Replay, just because, at least in terms of, I feel like that's one of those games, just because of the licensing fucking nightmare that this is.
Yeah.
That who knows how long it will be around for. Mm-hmm. So I feel like with Microsoft, at least, it's like if you have it, then at least you'll be able to keep it. Whereas with NSO, it will be gone.
It'll be gone.
So,
yeah, I agree.
Mhm. Yeah, so that is super exciting. I wonder if it still change anything on that show. We'll see.
I don't know, because like it was gonna be even more of a licensing nightmare. Like like the story behind the game, right?
Oh yeah,
How they were originally gonna have every single James Bond in the game.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been hell.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna move on?
Yeah, moving on. We got a game called Various Daylight. Is Daylife? Is that what it is? Yeah, Various Daylife. This came out of nowhere. I've never heard of it. It looks really weird. It looks like a management game disguised as an RPG, and I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. And I've never heard of this, and it was just announced and then it was released immediately. So that made me be like scratch my head and be like, what the fuck is this shit? So
Gotta
so
love
yeah,
it.
that's the thing. Square Enix game unannounced, just appear for purchase today. Sure, why not? Next game. This game. First of all, I have no idea how this is going to run on Switch, because this game on PCs can cripple them. And the reason for that is you can make so many factories and conveyor belts and this, that, and the other that like you could fill up your entire screen for like miles with like design and everything. There have been people that have made some incredible things in this game. And essentially what Factorio is, which is what was announced for the Switch, is a game where you're trying to survive the hostile environment that is around you, but also you need to get resources. So you essentially build a factory on an alien planet, but you also have to like build your defenses. So it's got like base defense aspects of that, but you can also like just kind of shoot the enemies. So you've got that element as well. But the main draw of the game is like one of those like oddly satisfying things where you want to build like the biggest factory of conveyor belts and everything is humanly possible and get as many um materials as humanly possible and automate the entire thing so it's just like a well-oiled machine. And it's really cool how you're able to do that in this game. This game's really 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 good. I highly recommend it. It is definitely worth checking out and one I never expected to see on PC, listen to me, on Switch, because it's like pretty much a PC game only essentially. So yeah, I think this is a game that is probably going to end up being liked by a lot of people because it's something that's like easy to understand, but like you can start playing this game at like 8 a.m. and end playing this game at like 8 a.m. tomorrow. Essentially, it's one of those games where you lose just hours of your life and don't realize that you just did.
I mean, those games are always fun. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Civilization.
It's very much like that, exactly. Ib was announced next. This is a really cool indie Japanese like RPG kind of thing. It's one of the ones similar to something like Ado Oni, where the aspects of the game are exploring and finding secrets and clues and that sort of shit, and then piecing together what the story is. These games are a lot of fun. They're always pretty cheap. It shouldn't be more than like $6. It's just a way for an indie developer to buy themselves a coffee, essentially. I think we got Mario Strikers and stuff like that announced next, and I mean, do we care?
Nope, should have been a tweet.
Yep,
It
I
should
agree.
have been a tweet. That is, I don't know why they wasted their time with this. Nobody cared. Like, should have been a tweet. I don't know. It's two new characters and like some extra stadium stuff.
Yep. After that, Atelier 3. Ryza 3. I know they pronounced it differently, but I'm pretty sure they specifically mispronounced this game. I'm not entirely sure, but I've heard it pronounced so many different ways. I'm not sure which one's the real one, but I don't think it's what this guy fucking said. So there's that. This is a really cool RPG that also has like a lot of exploration, similar to something like Genshin Impact or Zelda Breath of the Wild. So the hub world, the open world elements of it, where you like gather the stuff you need to like make potions and do this, that, and the other, and you can go fishing and do this, that, and the other. Those elements are really cool. And then you have a JRPG when you're in battle and combat and that sort of thing. So good game. I've always heard excellent things about this series. I have not played it myself because I think I'm just gonna wait for it to finish, and I think this is the ending of the series, or at least this story in the series. Because every few years they make a new story that's then like several games long, and I think this is the final one for it. All right, do we care about the Mario Kart courses?
Nope.
I didn't think so
Might have
either.
been a tweet.
I think they both. I mean, like, do you even if it was a tweet, would you care at all? Because these didn't look particularly interesting.
So the Mary whatever I didn't care about. It
Yeah.
looked better than the new course that they had in the last set, which was the
Mhm.
sweets, whatever. Which I think I said in that podcast was one of my least favorite Mario Kart courses of all time.
Mhm.
So I mean, it looks better than that, so that's a plus. But honestly, the brand new like courses that they made for tour, I
Or
enjoy the
shit.
tour courses, like the ones where it's like the cities. Those ones
Mhm.
have been decent, but like these other ones have just been, yeah, not great. I just
Yeah.
don't care. Peach, what was it? Gardens or whatever.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
Yeah, that looked fine. Why they didn't? I think it's kind of. It's kind of one of those odd things too, because it's like all the courses for the next set have already been leaked.
Mm.
So if you want to know what they are, you could just look. So for them to show them off is just a nothing burger.
And they only showed 2.
And yeah, they only showed 2. We just got the last set like barely a month ago, and we are going to get this one for like
Holiday?
2 or 3 more months. So it's just like, why waste our time? Why did we get this? Nope, you're not hyping anyone up with this. This was a deflating thing in this Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Not the most deflating thing that they did.
Hey, look. Next is Wii Sports with golf, but it's Switch Sports with golf.
I mean, you said you wanted golf, so there you go.
I did want golf. I haven't even played Switch Sports yet. I've heard nothing good about it, so I haven't played it.
I honestly, I didn't hear it was that bad. Well, I mean, I played it. I would say generally people have been enjoying it. That's what I was trying to say.
I like golf. I'll probably play this eventually. I just don't care to own it right now.
Yeah, I can't.
So maybe when golf comes out, I'll get it.
And this is also another one of those mystifying announcements to me in this direct.
One that could have just been a tweet.
Yeah, it could have been a tweet. We already knew golf was coming. You didn't give us a firm date. You could have done that.
Well, honestly, I did delay it.
But honestly, they were just like waited a month or two and was put in a tweet and were like, "Oh, is this? This is coming out in November." And everyone would be like, "Yay!" Then that would have been great. Nobody would have given 2 shits. But they made a big deal out of it. And B, this really should have been the opportunity because they're going to do something beyond golf. Golf is not going to be the last update for this game. This would have been the prime opportunity to be like, hey, unfortunately, golf is coming out in the holidays, but we are excited to announce that next year we're going to be adding basketball and dodgeball or whatever.
Not even that. They could have just announced the way the online multiplayer works for it, because that was pretty interesting. The person that has the most strokes gets eliminated in an online match. That's cool. Having like a survival golf thing. I like that idea. That's something they could have announced alongside it and been like, yeah, so we got a new mode and online player would up to 8 players. And because of that, it's going to take us a little extra time and it'll be releasing now in holiday 2020. That's the tweet. We're done. Like that's what it could have been.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this direct to me screams like, "Hey, we really have things that we need to announce before TGS because we have obligations to our third-party partners, and so here it is." But we probably, since we haven't had a direct since February, we probably should put some stuff for our own games in there, like things that are coming out in the next 6 months. Yeah. So, which they did. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of nothing spaces in here. So, which is what that announcement was for me as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
No, I definitely agree. I think this was just kind of a lot of this direct fell flat. I did like a lot of the games, but that's because I like things that you don't. So, right, but anyway, this next part I think was the worst part of the entire direct. To be completely honest,
if we're on the same page, it is the worst part of the entire.
Miyamoto
direct.
Talking.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was fucking. I don't know what they were thinking with this
They
segment.
let Miyamoto out of the retirement home. He's like,
Oh,
I've been walking about and I have Pikmin. You remember that game from 2 years ago that people played for a week? Let me talk about it.
yeah.
Why?
This screamed like, "Hey, nobody's playing this game, so let's try to sell it one last time. Maybe if Miyamoto tells them to do it, they'll do it." But the
That's
game is just,
exactly how I felt too. That
and
is
the worst part
exactly
is,
how I felt.
it was the longest part, like given to any single game.
And the other thing
And
was like, we'll also be releasing Nintendo World in Hollywood, California. Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, seriously?
I mean, I feel like maybe they could have gotten away with that Bloom section if they started with the Pikmin 4 announcement and been like,
Yeah.
"Hey, it's coming next year. While you're waiting, check out Pikmin Bloom." And then here's a quick 30-second montage of cool things to do.
But he was like, I walk here. This is what I do on a daily basis. The entire thing radiated, okay, Grandpa, energy, like
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah, nobody. I'm sorry, Miyamoto. Nobody likes this game, so I apologize. I wish I liked it more than I do, but it's definitely not Pokemon Go. And
Me and Katie just looked at each other during this time. We were like, so? Who
yeah,
cares?
yeah.
Why are you here? And I told her, and I quote, man, I think Miyamoto has like some ADD or something. He's like talking about things. He's like, by the way, I went walking and flowers. Oh, by the way, here's Pikmin 4, which is what we got to eventually. But he was like, I like to walk in Hokkaido. Also, sometimes I go to Tokyo, but I also go to the Universal Studios thing. I like flowers. Flowers are nice. I'm able to plant them with my Pikmin game. Do you guys like Pikmin? Look at these pictures I took. It's like, bro, I'm actually feeling kind of bad for making fun of this right now because I really legitimately was like, yo, Minamoto, okay? Is this man okay right now? you know, like, you all there, buddy? I like your stuff, but legitimately, you sound like someone rambling in a nursing home at this point in time.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is just like desperation for someone to play Pikmin Bloom. Maybe he's the only player. Maybe he needs someone to. I don't know. Do you trade
That's sad.
Pikmin?
Sad Miyamoto.
All the only flowers planted have been
By
probably
Miyamoto.
yeah. So,
Oh,
which is
shit.
sad. I can understand that. But obviously, like I said, this was a last-ditch effort for Pokemon Bloom.
Pikmin.
This game is not gonna probably get to its second anniversary at this rate, and its first anniversary is still a month away. So
Yikes.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's been nothing there. The game, I still have it downloaded on my phone. I haven't opened it in months and months and months.
I have something to talk about after this. Another game that won't make it to its first anniversary.
Okay, but yeah, Pikmin 4, they announced it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all you know.
Yeah. Well, no, he did tell us one other thing, which I actually thought was kind of cool. Instead of having the above view from past Pikmin games, you can actually have like ground side view, like right up there, up close and personal, kind of like essentially like a third person mode from behind the camera, that sort of deal. I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, okay, that's neat. Thanks for letting us know that, Mr. Pikmin. Also, also the another thing, and I remember mentioning this to Katie also. When we were talking about it, is like he's like, look at my new game, Pikmin 4. By the way, I made a shirt. Like the entire thing, it was just like, you
Oh,
okay,
that shirt
man?
is for sale. You can buy it.
Okay, that makes more sense because they didn't advertise you being able to buy that shirt at the time. I do like that shirt though.
It is a nice shirt. I don't blame him for being excited about it because it is a nice shirt. So well, maybe buy Pikmin Bloom or play Pikmin Bloom.
No,
So yeah, that didn't do anything for me in that regard. And at Pikmin 4, I am excited for. I love the other ones,
mm-hmm.
but
Did you miss the part where they said the whole third person camera from like up close and everything?
no, I did, but they didn't really show anything for this game, so I
Yeah,
just didn't care.
that's fair.
This was this announcement might as well have been Metroid Prime 4. Basically, they didn't show anything. Like, there's nothing to be excited about. Like, aside from it existing. Like, I'm
Yeah.
excited about Metroid Prime 4 existing,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I know slightly as much of that as I do of Pikmin 4. So, yeah, it's very hard to get hyped for a nothing, just a name. So, it's cool. We'll have it to play next year. Can't wait to see it. At this point, you can assume it's coming out after Breath of the Wild 2. So it's probably like a late half of the year game. But yeah, I just don't care.
Listen, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
All right. So, next we
care.
got. I don't either. It was just Dance. So, Just Dance.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do follow you for right there with Don't Care. Harvestella was after that, and they also announced a demo. I think this game looks really good. I know you're, again, farming, so don't give a shit. I think this has enough of a twist that it actually looks pretty fucking cool. And I'm kind of excited to play this.
I don't know. There's something about this game that I just don't like. And I don't know if it's the farming. I don't know if it's the name. I don't know if it's something else. But there's just something intrinsically off-putting to me about this game. I should open up my mind and give it a chance mentally, but it's just...
I mean, there's a demo. No reason not to, right?
You can play it. Tell me how it is next week. Maybe I'll change my mind. You could change my mind.
Fair. Okay. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
All right. Next. My second favorite thing that was shown during this, even though they didn't show much, but I gotta watch the gameplay afterwards. But we got some more info on Bayonetta 3. We got some more stuff to do with Bayonetta 3. I mean, the game just looked great. It looked incredible. I'm very excited for this.
I do like that with this one, too. They kept it short and sweet, and they're like, hey, there is a new gameplay trailer.
Yeah, I thought that was the smartest thing they could have done.
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely... it probably lets them get away with more stuff than they could probably show in the Direct anyways. So they don't have to be as cautious about it. But be like, at least that way people want to see more. They have that option to do it. Like, I'm excited about Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 2 is on my to-play sometime in the next month list.
So you've never played Bayonetta 2?
No, I did.
Damn.
I rebought it on the Switch.
Oh, okay, okay. Fair.
And I replayed Bayonetta 1.
I was like, I thought you did play that.
Yeah, I replayed Bayonetta 1, I think.
Okay.
Recently. I think it was recently. I don't remember when. But about Bayonetta 1, I was waiting on Bayonetta 2. I finally picked it up a month or two ago because it was my goal to finish playing that again before Bayonetta 3 came out. But I was waiting for it to get a little bit closer. And now that it's here, I'm like, oh, it's time.
So, you know, just like the Wii U, I bought the Wii U for Bayonetta 2. I bought the Switch for Bayonetta 3 because it's the second time they literally announced a game for the console before the console even existed.
Well, guess what? I know what you're going to be buying for the Switch 2.
Bayonetta 4?
Yeah, no, it looks great. I'm excited.
I'm very excited for this. All right, moving on from that. This is something I wish Nick was here because I bet he's very excited for this.
Yeah, this is the Dragon Grandpa game, right?
This is the Danganronpa, Dragon Grandpa, whatever you want to call it, game. I even think this looks good. This looks really good.
It does.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I mean, I don't know. I still... Dragon Grandpa is one of those series that I'm like, I want to play this. And
why not?
I don't know.
I mean, why not play it?
I bought one of them on the Vita. I never... I started it, but then really
full release of all three for like $40 on Switch. You should just drop the money and get it.
No, I know that they're there. I don't know. It just hasn't happened yet.
I mean, you like fuck, what's it called?
This type of games, yeah.
No. Specific game, because this game reminds me of a specific game that you really
Phoenix
like.
Wright.
Yeah, you like Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same thing, just way more violent.
There's absolutely. Listen, I bought it before in the Vita. I just never. I like. When I say started it, I mean like barely.
Actually got into the game. Yeah.
I did maybe like 5 minutes of it. So I didn't even play enough to even get anywhere. So I mean, yeah, the intent to play these games is.
You like 9 persons, 9 hours, 9 days, whatever the fuck it is. You know, like those games, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would love these games.
Yeah. like I said, super excited. It definitely is on my to play list. So
I like that this kind of
um,
has like a vibe of being able to go into like open world areas and like find clues and that sort of thing, and not just have the whole thing be like kind of automated, and just a full on like this actually seems like a game. You know what I mean? Because
mhm.
even though Danganronpa is a game, there's lots of gameplay elements to it. It is also very heavily a visual novel, a lot like the Phoenix Wright games, where there's just a ton of dialogue. There's a ton of talking and showing things, and you being out of control of that element of the game. And some people really like that, and some people really like those kind of games, and I do like those games to a certain extent. But I like the idea of also being able to like go into the area where the like murder in this game, I guess, took place and explore their kind of like surroundings and find clues. And then I have no idea how the gameplay element of this works because it looked really weird. It had like RPG and hack and slash elements, but you were hacking and slashing away the lies to like say like objection essentially, but
Mhm.
instead you're actually like cutting away the truth and the falsehoods and like choosing them that way, and you're going through like a labyrinth, but like the labyrinth, all the choices depended on you following along with the story and piecing together who the killer is. I really like that element because that's very inventive and very different. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in one of these kind of games. So that's a really cool aspect to it. I want to see how it pans out because that could either be super awesome or it could fall flat on its fucking face.
I guess we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But it is a Switch exclusive. I think they even said too. So,
Probably. We'll see.
so I guess yeah. I guess we'll see. Comes out.
You know, I think the
spring.
next thing is actually the worst announcement on the entire thing.
No, the. I mean, I guess this is the Pikmin Bloom was like the ultimate like
Mm-hmm.
valley point of this direct, and
Yeah.
they had to like try and claw themselves out of this deep, 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 deep hole that they dug themselves in the middle of this direct, and they don't do it. The
Yeah.
Resident Evil announcements.
I'm just tired of cloud versions of everything. I get that you can't play the actual games on Switch, but cloud versions are just the fucking worst, and I really hate them.
Yeah, and I don't remember if we talked about this before. I think my thing with the cloud things is if they were like cloud rentals and I could pay for them as like a rental, maybe I would do it. But I'm not going to pay full price for a cloud game that, at least from what we've seen track record wise on the Switch, is definitely not a prolonged investment, considering some of the ones that have come out are already not playable anymore. So it's those are nothing for me. They don't do anything. I would just boot up one of my other systems to play them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, although I did check out the what's it called? The cloud version of Control, and I mean, it played totally fine. I guess if the Switch is the only console you have, I guess yay that you get more choices to play, but like it's so bad. It's such a bad choice. It's a choice. It's not a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's cool that they're there. I guess in some ways that if you're a really big Resident Evil fan and you only have the Switch, this does make it so you can play
Hmm.
all of the Resident Evils.
Yeah.
You can play the story from, I guess, like 0 through 8, really. They're
Yeah.
all there. The only thing you'd be really missing is Code Veronica, which is
Yep.
MIA. They do have, and you can even play the two Revelations games. Those are there. So I mean, it's nice that the Resident Evil family is there. Hopefully, whatever next Switch Nintendo system comes out, they just
Hmm.
replace the cloud versions with real ones. Which, knowing Capcom, they will. It's very
And they'll charge you for them.
yep, yes,
Knowing Capcom, they will.
they will. They will. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, so I mean, the one thing about that part of the presentation reminded me was, oh yeah, there is new DLC that makes the game third person again that comes out in December. I'm pretty excited for that. But that has nothing to do with just direct. It just has to do with the fact that that's going to exist, and I'm very happy about it. Also, pretty cool that the Switch will be getting the DLC. It seems day and date with everyone else, so good for them. Good for them.
I
If
mean,
you're
it's
playing the
cloud
cloud version, you
version,
get.
so I hope so.
Yeah, I know, but shit's weird with Capcom sometimes. You know what I mean?
I know. Mm-hmm.
Next was Sifu. Sifu was announced for Switch, and I really like this game. This is a very good game. This is the game where every time you die, you go up in age, and it takes more
Oh,
hits
yeah.
to kill a person as you get older, but you do more damage as well. Or no, you take less hits to die, but you do more damage because of your wisdom, essentially. And this game's very, very, very good and very, very, very hard. This Switch version looked very, very, very bad. It was running at a very poor frame rate. And like I've seen games that look way better than this on Switch run infinitely better. So it might just be a bad port. We'll see. But Sifu is a very good game that's definitely worth playing if you have the chance. Any way that you can. I have this on Epic Game Store, and it's awesome. Lots of fun. So there you go.
That's good to know. I wasn't sure based on the gameplay that I saw. I was like, oh, it could be okay. It's hard to tell. So.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like it's like Elden Ring hard. It's very hard. So there's that. Because like anytime you die, it resets your progress to the beginning of your last checkpoint.
Yeah.
And some of these stages are like 40 minutes to an hour long. So, yeah. Good game. Very, very good game, though. Very, very good game.
All right.
This was the one that actually surprised me next. I had no idea Crisis Core was being announced for the Switch. The Crisis Core
like
remake?
When we talked about the
original release, like the original announcement for it.
No, the Square Enix presentation where we talked about this.
Yeah.
I feel like there was just an off comment. See, I thought it was you. We were like, "Oh, weird! This one's coming to the Switch." I feel like that
I may have seen it. I've been through a lot since that.
But I also feel like it's one of those ones I'd forgotten about it too. I was surprised, and I kept looking for it to say cloud.
I did too, and you know what? I said to Katie, and I quote, "I guess the only cloud version we're getting is with actual cloud."
So, I mean, that is cool that it's coming out. I've heard Crisis Core is good.
Crisis Core is one of the best things that came out of Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. So
maybe I will play it.
It's very, very good.
So I have Final Fantasy VII on my Switch, so it feels fitting to have Crisis Core there too.
So interesting enough, and this is what made me think we would also get like a cloud version of Final Fantasy VII Remake announced or something during this. They're trying to tie in Crisis Core now to the Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. So, and this is what was already announced during the Square Enix thing a few months back. They announced Crisis Core, and then immediately after that, they announced Part 2 of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. And a lot of Part 2 of the Final Fantasy VII Remake was having flashbacks to Crisis Core, and the flashbacks to Crisis Core was from the new remake of Crisis Core. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So it's like, we'll give you Crisis Core in December, and then next summer or spring, you get Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. And I was like, okay, I can deal with that. That's pretty neat. And I'm very excited for this game, because this was a PSP game, if you remember. Yes. And this was easily one of the best PSP games.
There wasn't too many, but yes.
I disagree. I think there was a lot of really good PSP games. I think the PSP is a system that a lot of people slept on that has excellent games on it. I think anyone that says PSP didn't have good games didn't play PSP.
I mean, I had a Vita. I could play PSP games that way.
Did you play PSP? Or did you just play your Vita?
I played PSP games on my Vita.
Okay. You like Tearaway. Tearaway's a really good game. That's a Vita game.
Vita game?
Yes. I was going to say, I think there were a lot of games that were released on I was trying to get to that. I think there were a lot of games that were released on PSP that had that same kind of feel as Tearaway, and there's a lot of really good games on PSP. That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The PSP, I didn't really... There were... like you
had the best Final Fantasy. It had the best Kingdom Hearts, because it just did away with all the bullshit and started from square one.
Which one was that one?
Birth by Sleep Kingdom
Oh
Hearts.
yeah, a lot of people did enjoy that one.
Yeah, that was a really really good game, and that was on the PSP. Um,
The only other one I think this was a PSP game. The one
mhm.
Metal Gear game that wasn't Acid, and I can't think of it right now.
I liked Acid. Acid was awesome, but also
Well, no, Acid was
you're
not
thinking of Peace
bad.
Walker.
Yeah, I love Peeps Walker.
Yeah, Peace Walker, Metal Gear
Love Peeps
Acid. I
Walker.
liked Acid because I really liked the card game element. I really liked the Monster Hunter that was on it. It had Persona 3, P3P as it was called, which is the remake that we're getting on Game Pass in about,
But
in a
everything,
few
yeah.
months.
Mm-hmm.
It had GTA Vice City Stories. It had GTA Liberty City Stories. Both were excellent games. It had God of War Chains of Olympus. It had multiple God of War games that were actually very, very good for a handheld. I mean, it had a lot of good shit, in my
You know what,
opinion.
though, at the same time, and this is actually kind of topical because we have talked about this, not really half, but just touched on
Uh huh.
this topic last week because this was the Scott the Woz video.
I
But
love
I,
Scott the Woz.
but I think that I think this wasn't what he was talking about there, but this is kind of, I guess, where I'm coming from for when the PSP is like a system of
Mm-hmm.
its own merit. Is Sony took everything that was respectable on that system
Mm-hmm.
and put it on something else. That system has no identity anymore.
You know, that is very fair. That is a very, very fair point because
I,
most of
I
the
don't think there's
games
anything
did.
stuck on there.
Portable
Metal
Ops,
Gear Acid,
Metal Gear Acid. Um,
Portable Ops. Is that the other Metal Gear?
yeah.
I didn't play it on PSP, so it's not stuck there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was on something else. And I guess they moved
think
Loco Roco
I
1
think
and
I
2.
played
That's
Portable
right.
Ops on. I think it's in the Metal Gear collection. I'm pretty sure that's where I played it.
I'm looking, and you know what? You're very right. When it comes to PSP games, they were all pretty much moved over to something else.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. There's very at this point in time. There's nothing first party. I think is stuck on
Mhm.
there. But B, there's very few like notable third party games. Like I said, Metal Gear Acid, I think is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure someone could name something else. They're like, oh my god, this is my favorite game ever, and it was there.
Valkyrie.
I know that
You're
Dracula
right.
collection was there that people liked. Or
Mhm.
sorry, Castlevania collection. I don't know about, but yeah, no, it really just did not have.
You know what? You're right. You're 100% right. But I would also like to put into like perspective, looking at it from the time it released and like those games releasing specifically on PSP. Yes, they got moved off, but they got moved off because they were really, really good games. Which comes back around to my point that the PSP had really, really good games, and that was the main point I was trying to make in the first place. Because you're right. If you look at the games that are like the top 10 to 5 games, every single one of these have been moved over to something else. And as such, it's like, yeah, I get that. That makes sense. But if the games were good enough to be moved over to something else, and like if I just keep scrolling and look at all of these and I'm like, wow, that is on PS3. Oh, that is on Xbox 360. Oh, that is on. Well, clearly they had games that were really fucking good and that were good enough to be moved to another console from the PSP. And that really just proves the point that the PSP was like a really good system for its time.
Some of them for sure. Portable Ops, I think, is actually one of my favorite Metal Gear games. Although, interestingly, and I didn't remember this at the time. And
I think for
should
me
have
it's
because
Peace
I worked
Walker.
in.
Peace Walker is excellent.
Oh, Peace Walker is what I meant to say. Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Scott the Wazo. When I was watching that video, I didn't realize how short of a lead time it was between the PSP and like some of the others. Like some of those games were like day and date. Like,
Yes.
hey, we're both system, and then some were like a
Most like
month
the
later.
Jack and Dexter and games like
Mhm.
that were released, and they're not very good. Those aren't. Those were just like released alongside, and that kind of sucks. Then that was an element of the PSP that also happened, where they just kind of dumped games onto it that were not mainline games of a different series essentially, and that sucked. That element of it sucked. And yeah, the Scott the Woz video goes into a lot of detail about that stuff as well, and that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways.
yeah, moving on. Like I said, Crisis Core coming to the Switch, really good game. What was this next game called?
Radiant Silvergun.
Radiant Silvergun. Yeah, so this is a very very good shmup if you like shmups. I don't know how much they're going to make this game. It's probably going to be like $30-$40. I'm not going to lie. And it's not really worth $30-$40, but it is an excellent game. You know, kind of like how they did with Ikaruga on the GameCube.
It
It's
reminded me so much of
essentially
that.
like that. Yeah, it's essentially like that. Very, very good game. Definitely worth your time. And I think a lot of shmup fans are going to be really happy with this one. So that's cool. Yeah, there were some like very niche titles that were in this direct, which I found to be very, very weird. But you know, like Endless Dungeon, which was shown next, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is coming to Switch." I've been signed up for the beta of this game forever, and I don't know when the fuck it's actually releasing or when the beta is. I've wanted to play this game forever because it looks really, really good. So that's cool. That's coming to Switch also. Oh yeah, Tales of Symphonia remastered.
I'm so excited for this.
Yes. I'm very confused by this though, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So this looks like the version that's on PC, but it's not remastered. It's just a port of the one for PlayStation 3. So I'm just kind of like very confused. Are these the same games, or are they going to try to release a new version of this game, like, you know, on other consoles, or like what's going on here? That's what basically confused me about this. But this is an excellent game. This is one of the best GameCube games that was ever released. I'm glad you have really good taste in GameCube games. Awesome. I was very excited to see this, but also, like I said, I had that general confusion because I was like, doesn't this already exist, and can I get this for like $5 on Steam?
Probably, yeah. But it is kind of funny though, because I don't know what it was. Something last week had me thinking about this game, and I was like, I really would play Tales of Symphonia again. Someone must have been on my wavelength, because obviously here it is. But I was super excited about it. It's one of my. It is. I mean, it's not like the GameCube had a ton of RPGs, but this one definitely was an excellent, regardless of what it came out on. And
yeah,
I'm super excited. I don't even know the last time I played it.
So I'm gonna take the win out of those sales for a second. I'm very sorry to do this to you. So there's a reason I haven't bought this on PC yet. If this is what I think it is, this is the PlayStation 3 version, and it's worse than the original GameCube version. They have the frame rate, first of all, so it's not as fluid. It feels very sluggish, just in general, when playing the actual game. And on top of that, it just something about it when you're playing, I don't know if it's like a subtle change because of the up-res or whatever, it just doesn't feel quite right. It kind of has like uncanny valley territory without being uncanny when you like look at something and you're like, something isn't quite right and I can't put my finger on it. It just has that feeling to the game the entire time you're playing it. And I just maybe it won't bother you because you'll just be like, yeah, I can play this on Switch. But like, if you remember how it played on GameCube, it was like super fluid. It was very like aesthetic to watch with just how fast the fights were and everything. It's much more slowed down if this is the PS3 version. And looking at the trailer here, this might be the PS3 version, which was the PS2 version, but up-resed. And the PS2 version, if you ever played it, was pretty fucking bad. So, yeah, that's what I'm worried about here, essentially.
I mean, what we can see in the trailer doesn't look too bad, but unfortunately, 90% of what we see in the trailer is just the anime cutscenes. So
yeah, so you can see some of the fight elements, and it does look slower, in my opinion, especially at like an hour and 9 minutes. If you like look at that, when it goes into an hour and 10, they go and they cast a summon, they have someone come down, and they pull off like the move at like 1 hour and 10 minutes in this video. And when you look at it, you're like, that does not look quite right.
Yeah, I mean, there's something that looked slightly off to me when I was playing it earlier, or watching it earlier.
Yeah, I think this is the 30 FPS one, which the GameCube version ran at 60. So that's why it was so like fluid and nice.
Yeah.
Just aesthetically pleasing to look at in general. We then got like just a massive dump of games with Life is Strange collection, like the Bay Area collection, which is the ones with Zoe and why can't I remember her name? Well, you know, the two original girls.
Yep.
Whatever.
Don't care.
Yeah, and then a Romancing Saga remastered. That's cool. I actually think that's really neat that we got that announced by Square Enix. I don't know if it was announced before, but this looks really, really good. Lego Brick Tales looks very cool. I like the diorama aspect of it, where you're like playing an
nice
actual Lego playset. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it looks like you like build the levels and then play them. So that's cool. I like that. I've already played Disney Speedstorm. I got into the beta a while ago.
Mhm.
It's a good racing game. It's a lot of fun, but it definitely has that this is free to play element to it, and it's like this is free to play. You know. They then showed off the next season of what was it called? Fall Guys to finish out that little clip. Yeah, and that comes out today. And then this next one, which is Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. During this entire announcement, I was expecting them to say this was part of NSO Online. Because this seemed like the kind of game that's a quick and dirty up-res job, quick and dirty, just slap it on the Switch. That would be something that you could easily be like, and day and date it will be added to Nintendo Switch Online Plus. And I was totally expecting that to happen. And it didn't happen. So it looks like we're getting a up-res, not much to it, port of a Wii U game. I think this was Wii game. My bad. Yeah. I mean, there's really not much to say about this other than Return to Dreamland is getting a
report. Yeah.
Remaster.
I don't think we really know what the deluxe part of it is.
Yeah.
Presumably it sounded like there was a new power up in there maybe. I think the funny thing about all this is like all the people have been squawking about like, oh, remaster GameCube games are coming. We didn't get any GameCube games at all. And we got Kirby's Return to Dreamland out of left field. Which
we did. We got Tales of Symphonia.
Well, I mean, they're talking about Nintendo ones, and I am excited for Tales of Symphonia. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, no, this was so random.
It was. That's why I thought it would be part of NSO Online Plus.
Yeah, it's not a bad Kirby game. Like, honestly, I think it's probably one of the more enjoyable ones. Because, you know, Kirby's have those good ones and those bad ones. This one was a good one, I thought.
Yeah.
I liked it. But it was just so random. Like, I was like, what? And there was a weird segue here, too, because it just kind of, like, started. And you're like, oh, okay. I guess that's coming. Where's Zelda? Nope. Not good. Yeah, so, cool. I mean, I guess that shows that they're going to start dipping into a lot of their other stuff that they have to put out, too. So,
yep.
Happy to see it. I mean, I really can't be upset. It's going to probably be their February game, because I don't know what role they have in Octopath. You know, they have published a lot of those like Square Enix style games. So my guess is that Nintendo's probably just going to put out that and Kirby as their February games for next year, which is honestly a solid month. You get a little bit of something for everyone, but
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, it's just this one just came out of nowhere. It's like surprise, motherfuckers. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'll probably buy it. I want to see what else they have in there. I did enjoy the original one, so it's fun. It's got to only be like a. Did they put it on the eShop yet? Let me see.
I don't know. I'm expecting it to be a $60 game because there's deluxe in the title.
It can't be. Let's see.
I'm expecting it.
Oh, they got it on the eShop. Let's see. Let's see what they say. Still loading. It's got little dancing stars. What are the dancing stars gonna say?
I bet it says $60.
Oh, they're still dancing. $59.99.
I was right. Let's go.
Winner, chicken dinner. I can't believe it.
Bro, it's Nintendo. What do you expect? Come on, dude. Listen, I like Nintendo. I may give them a lot of shit for the way they're handling the Switch now that it's so late in its lifespan. I definitely give them a lot of shit, but it's because I actually do like Nintendo. And I want to see them succeed. But this underpowered console is It's not doing it for them. You know what I mean? It's really not. Like they're able to squeeze every little ounce of, I guess, computing out of it, but like they also make these really stupid decisions like releasing a Wii game for fucking $60, you know?
Oh yeah.
They're only kind of damaging themselves, to be completely honest.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it probably if you went to a GameStop to buy it right now, it probably costs like $10,000. So I don't know.
Bro, I bet I can buy it on eBay for. And you know what? No, you know what? I'll take that bet. Let's see what it is on GameStop. $40.
If it was in stock.
That's true. That's fair. But still, $40.
I mean, I guess. But see, now for deluxe, you get $20 of extra content.
Oh shit,
So
man! And then they announce the season pass, and you're like, "What's the deluxe?"
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, when they did this with with the Mario 3D World, we got some extra stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe we'll get something else extra there. It didn't really seem like it, but we'll see. We'll see what they do. Actually, we did get one other Wii port this direct too, and that was the Fatal Frame game.
That's true. That's 2 Wii ports.
Yeah, 2 Nintendo Wii ports. Apparently, that's where they're putting all their money now. Wii ports. So
I mean, there's some good Wii games. Bring over Red Steel 2.
Mm-hmm.
Red Steel 2 is really good. I would say No More Heroes, but they've already done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already got Skyward Sword. Was a big one. You got Mario Galaxy. Just need Galaxy 2 now.
Yep.
I would love to see them do. Actually, this was kind of one of those other. I'm surprised that they didn't do things here. Like this also would have been a right place to stick out Pikmin 1 and 2, like the Wii versions of that game.
Twilight Princess. Where's my Twilight Princess?
The leaker said it's coming, Brandon.
I'm sure it is.
It's right next to Metroid Prime Remake that they've been talking about for 4 years. That's exactly what I said when we were talking about. Was it last week, 2 weeks ago? It's like they keep on talking about this stuff, and then it doesn't come true.
Never.
And I was reading something today too because they were getting upset because people were getting mad at them. And it's, I mean, I get that you didn't specifically say that it was going to be in this direct. I understand that, but you've been talking about this stuff for like 3-4 years. You knew it wasn't going to be in this direct. You didn't tell people it wasn't going to be in this direct, and then it wasn't in this direct, and then they got upset. You can't be upset at them for you getting them hyped up and not reining them in. And then
I agree.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, if one of those Magic titles, I mean, honestly, at this point, like the Zelda games are a give me. I would predict that they're going to come to Switch, and I don't have a source. So like those coming out. But if this Metroid Prime HD remake comes out, then maybe I would believe it. So
what the actual fuck. So I see the various Day Life game I was telling you about. The price of it is $28.99.
Random.
Who fucking prices their game at that? Like, what the fuck?
Is it like a sale price?
No, that's the price. Nothing, no percentage off. That's just the price.
Okay. Well,
like, what the fuck? So weird.
All right, you ready to talk about the last Nothing Burger?
Yeah, you mean the 2 minutes of Breath of the Wild where about 45 seconds of it was looking at a cave painting?
Did we even get that much of it? It seemed like less. So,
all right, let's actually time it. Let's see where it is. We'll
start. I think I have it pulled right up. This trailer specific. 1 minute 36 seconds.
Okay, yeah, so almost 2 minutes. I was almost right. All right, so 1:30, where at least 45 seconds of it was looking at a cave painting.
Yeah.
This was just to announce that we've changed the name. Stop calling it Breath of the Wild 2. That's all this was.
I keep on doing that too. Anyways, yeah. It's
Tears of the Kingdom. Ooh.
I know. And so I just... And we got an official release date, May 12th. So that's exciting. It is nice. But this trailer was...
nothing.
The least possible amount that they could have possibly shown for a game that we've seen almost nothing about.
Yeah.
So
this was a pretty shit way to end it, to be completely honest. Like, there's not really much to get hype about. It's like, you could have just told me we've changed the name, and I've been like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you could just had Aonuma come out and be like, hey guys, here's the title. It's coming out May 12th. Get hyped. I would have been more excited about that than this. This trailer didn't have anything. It didn't have exciting music. It didn't have exciting gameplay. I'm sure the game will be great. There's nothing that I've seen in a Zelda game that makes me have any reason to doubt this game will be good. This is just not a. You're right. It's not an exciting way to end this. Miyamoto might as well come out and been like, "We're announcing Breath of the Wild 2's new title is Legend of Zelda: Pikmin Bloom." That would have been more on the same wavelength, I guess. I just okay, cool. That's exciting. It's the first half of the year. It's not going to be at E3, which means that I feel like that's them saying that hey, we got something exciting coming the back half of this year, so be ready.
I don't think it is. I think they're done.
Which is like the Switch in general.
No, I just think they're done with this year. I think it's already over. I think this was them just being like, throw in the towel. This is what you'll get next year, but you ain't getting nothing this year.
Well, I mean, at this point, we know 4 games for next year from first party.
Yeah,
and that is we have Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm.
Ensure, is that what it's called? Engage. Sure. We know that there is the Kirby game.
Fire Emblem Pediasure? What?
Yeah, Pediasure. I mean, Octopath is kind of like Nintendo. I mean, I guess if you want to like tack that on as like a +1.
Yeah, I wouldn't because it's also coming to PlayStation, and I have confirmed that now.
Okay. And then there is it Day and Date? Did they say?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, so that's not a thing then. So subtract that back off, and then you can put on Breath of the Wild in May, and then you got Pikmin sometime.
Eventually.
That might be the big holiday game of the year, and that's it. I don't know. Although I feel like next year, I feel like there's going to be some sort
I
of.
was mostly talking about
movie.
this year. Like, what do we have this year?
Oh, for the rest of this year?
Yeah.
Oh, this year's so fucking packed, Brandon.
We got Bayonetta 3.
We got Bayonetta.
I guess we got Pokemon.
Mario and Rabbids. We got Pokemon. Yep. What else do you need?
I don't know.
I mean, the first party wise, that's 3 solid games.
Yeah, I mean.
And then on top of that, for someone like me, you also got like Persona.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you're right. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. You're right.
You had like the bunch of DLC stuff. You got. There's lots of stuff.
So are you buying Persona 5?
Yeah, Day one? I don't. It comes out in the most annoying time because it comes out, I think, like in that time frame between Mario and Rabbids and Bayonetta.
I think you're right.
So, I think my at least mental plan is to wait until after Pokemon, and I'll probably pick it up in December.
Okay, because I would like to hear your thoughts on Persona 5 because like you've never like looked at it really, right? You're like you have nothing to do with it.
No, not really. I know.
And like this is a critically acclaimed game, a lot of people really like this game.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it is on my like you should buy this by the end of the year kind of game list, but that's it. Yeah. So I like I said, I do plan on playing it. Maybe Nier as well.
Oh, Nier's so good.
So, but yeah, like I said, the rest of this year is like it's pretty busy. So I don't really feel like I don't really feel like I need anything else at the moment. So
if I had to choose between Persona 5 or Nier, I would play Nier.
I know.
I love Nier. Nier is an incredible game.
I know you do. I'm definitely doing the Persona though, for sure. Listen, I probably will do Nier at some point. I think it's another one too. Like I would just want to wait and see.
Yeah.
How things come out. But
yeah, because it is a Switch game. You know how it's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, some third parties do really well with it.
That's true. And some don't.
Yeah, like I think I was looking at something like, what was it? I was gonna say for Digital Foundry did something on like Doom for the Switch, and they're like it's not graphically on par with Doom on the other systems. Obviously, you're playing on the Switch, but they're like it has a really solid frame rate. The gameplay is identical, and you can have a great time with this. Like that's what you want to see from like those kind of ports. BioShock was kind of the same thing. It like runs really well. Obviously, you're gonna have a difference in frame rate, like that kind of stuff. If they take the care to like make sure that it still functionally plays the same, that's what I appreciate. So if they could do that, listen, I don't really care about like I don't need it to be like 4K. I'm totally happy with 720p as long as it runs solid. So
yep.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that, and I don't know. Let's make a decision later in the year.
So I
Yeah.
know my pick. What do you think was the best announcement between the two shows today?
Are you asking me personally what I would pick, or what I think
Yeah.
you would pick?
No. What you would pick?
Ooh, that's tricky. Um, that is tricky because I was not super hyped about anything. Uh, Fire Emblem or
Okay.
Goldeneye, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not. So that nothing really knocked my socks off from my other show.
Mm-hmm. And you already know my pick, which is Yakuza Ishin, because I've been Ishin, whatever the fuck, I don't care. That game, I've been waiting for it since the PlayStation 3. I've actually been following people that have been working on a written translation of the PlayStation 3 version, and I was
Okay.
thinking of trying to play it that way, but now I don't have to.
I don't,
Yay!
which is great. Yeah,
So,
that is pretty nice. Yes, I think that's. I don't know. I think that this was a. I said meh when I texted you guys earlier. I think it was.
yep.
It was an okay direct. It was
It was
definitely
alright.
was not. I think this had a lot of. This direct had a lot in its favor, and
Mm-hmm.
somehow just did not hit the right notes. It could have been much better. I just don't think Nintendo wanted to show their hand right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we said, there's lots of stuff that didn't need to be here, and we know they're sitting on other stuff that they could have shown. I'm not saying like Metroid Prime. I'm saying like, hey, you know what? You could have blown out like Zelda maybe a little bit more than nothing, which is what we
Yeah.
saw here.
Yeah.
You could have handled some of this other stuff a bit better. Like you could have shown us Pikmin 4. That would have been a pretty nice way to unveil that game. Even something more than like even like a cinematic trailer would have probably been way more exciting. Like this that
Yep.
what they showed was literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
As they just made a lot of missteps in this direct. And like I said, that's kind of why I think this was just them placating third parties. Like
Yep.
it was
Yep.
like, hey, TGS is here. We got to get this shit out the door. But we don't want to call it a partners direct because that pisses people off. So
Yeah,
we'll
because they're just
throw
not
in,
going to tune in.
yeah. So we'll just throw in a couple things, and that will get people excited, and go from there. They really didn't want to stoke their early year announcements either, because they usually do a direct, usually in like the spring, too. I
Mhm.
feel like they've announced enough stuff at this point that they can, squeeze in a direct in February and be fine. Maybe with like a something small in March, maybe that would be a good place to stick advance for us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was just a lot of nothing. I mean, to be fair, they already have a pretty packed end of this year, so there's not
Yep.
really much room for them to stick anywhere else this year. It is awesome that we're getting Fire Emblem in what 3 months, four,
Yeah,
3
pretty
months, 4
much.
months? Yeah. So
Yeah, I think the best announcement for me in the Nintendo Direct at least was Theat Rhythm. I'm so excited to be able to play that again. The game's just so good.
yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for either in terms of stuff I'd probably be buying from the Nintendo Direct. I'll get Fire Emblem, obviously. Zelda, for sure, is definitely in there. I probably will get the Fatal Frame, so I'll put that on my probably list. Maybe Octopath too. Pretty excited for that. Mario and Rabbids, Bayonetta 3. Those ones are already kind of like announced things, so it's not like they're super surprising. Maybe Pikmin 4, definitely. And then super excited for Tales of Symphonia Remastered. I would strongly consider Crisis Core as well.
Yeah, Crisis Core is great.
And then Kirby Return to Dreamland.
I'm
We were just
telling you,
talking about
man,
it.
you
Yeah.
need to play Tunic. You will not regret it. You need to play Tunic.
Okay, I will think about Tunic. You
Please
do
do.
make it sound like an interesting game.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I can't really be like I was disappointed by this direct, but
Yeah, I mean, there's enough stuff that it's like I'm not disappointed by this direct because of the games that were announced. And like I like a lot of the farming games, unlike you. So there was a shit ton there for me and Katie, on that side of things. Granted, I only think 2 of them looked good, but whatever. And then they had like the Factorio, which was being brought over from PC. That's super cool. I think if you like take a moment and you look at the direct as a whole, and not just the Nintendo aspects of the Direct, where it's like, oh, Miyamoto came and rambled on for like 10 minutes, and we got like less than 30 seconds of Breath of the Wild 2, which now has a name change. Honestly, could have been a tweet. So there you go. Those two things, if you take those two elements out of it, I think there were some solid showings here. I think our disappointment comes from the fact that those two elements of the Direct were such garbage, just in general.
Yeah, they could have handled this Direct probably a lot better. Absolutely.
This was 40 minutes, and it probably could have been 20, like Sony's was.
Yes, I think so. You know what though? A lot of it was like, I think kind of really hit when they did like the third party just quick splice reels, and I was like, oh, I thought they were getting it all the way at first, so they could show better stuff at the end.
Yeah,
and then I realized that they just had so many of them to show that they just were gonna keep going.
I mean, Sony's showing was better today. It was better. I think it was. I know you weren't particularly interested in any of the games they showed, but I think as a cohesive package, Sony did a better job. They didn't waste any time. I would say the biggest time waster would be the controller, but that was just to go into the trailer for God of War afterwards. So it's just like kind of announced alongside it. So, and we got a 3-minute trailer of God of War instead of a 30-second trailer of Breath of the Wild, you know? And there was definitely a lot more happening in that trailer. So, yeah, I honestly think Sony knocked it like out of the park with quite a few of their announcements today. They were pretty good.
Well, I think
you don't
knocked it
care
out
for
of the park.
Tekken.
Knocked it out of the park's a little steep, but I do agree with you.
Okay,
I think
all right. From a presentation standpoint, I think they did a great job there. I'll just leave it at that.
I think they had a better presentation.
Just because you don't care for the games doesn't mean that they weren't just snappy getting everything out there and not wasting my time.
Well, as I said, I think they had a better presentation. I think they still have the same issue that Nintendo did, where it's just like, hey, we have to get this shit out the door. Like, nobody gives a fuck about the Star Wars games. Nobody cares.
I mean, that was just so they could say we have PSVR 2 games to show. That's really all it was at the end of the day. And they know Star Wars is a household name, because even though we may have the fatigue, several people are fucking tuning in every week on Disney Plus to see what the next Star Wars TV show is. I'm not even talking about episode, because it feels like they're releasing new fucking TV shows every week for that fucking franchise.
Yeah. So I don't. But yeah, no. Today was not bad. I mean, it was kind of nice to have like the old E3 feeling. But yeah, no, I don't think either party really had anything that was too wild.
I was very excited for Yakuza Ishin. I mean, that game came out in 2011, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, Yakuza Ishin. That came out in 2014, and it's been quiet since then. They definitely, for a long time, were not going to bring it over. So, having that... Yeah, I'm curious what concessions they have to make, if any, to be able to bring it over. And I hope they don't make any concessions. I hope they're just like, yeah, this is a game that released during this time. Get over it.
I bet they will not do too much. I bet they'll probably just... I feel like they did it with another one, didn't they?
I know they did it with Destroy All Humans 2 recently.
No,
that was actually really cool. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
They have like a little tagline when you first boot up the game. It's like, this game is a product of its time. Your puny human brains may not have advanced enough and may find some of the content in this game offensive. However, I would like you to keep in mind that this game is indeed a product of its time. Like it's like written in like alien speak though. Like they're like an alien talking down to humans, not being able to comprehend things, but it's basically just being like, if you're offended by this, I don't give a fuck. This was released in the early 2000s. Get over it. And it's good. It's good. I'm glad they did that, because there's a lot that could have been offensive in those games.
I mean, I do appreciate when they're taking older things and just keeping them like that. I can understand why you put those disclaimers in there. Things have changed a bit in 10, 15 years in terms of what's acceptable.
Yeah.
But I think that some of the context is important for this preservation and stuff too.
I agree. I feel like changing games based on like modern standards is very disingenuous to the product, and it's just not a good idea in general. Because, like, they always say like you're doomed to repeat your mistakes if you try to hide them, that sort of shit. So it's like,
Yeah.
why try to hide that? Why don't just be like, yo, this came out in the early 2000s. This is how it is. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but we just, brought the game over, essentially, as it was originally. So everyone could
Yeah.
enjoy it the way it used to be. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did want to talk about one tiny piece of news. You remember a game called Babylon's Fall?
No.
So Square Enix released a game called Babylon's Fall. It was their partnership with Platinum. When they originally released the trailer for it, it looked quite good. And then it got worse, and it got worse. And then Square Enix wanted to make it into a live service game. So they built the entire game around being a live service title, similar to something like a Ubisoft title that exists for a long, long period of time. And they like made sure that the game could be monetized with battle passes and season passes and this, that, and the other. And that's what they focused on instead of the actual game. That game released in March. It shuts down in another month. It didn't even make it a year.
Oopsies.
Yeah, that's their own fuck up. They shouldn't have done this. It was clearly not meant to be what they made it into, and it's bad. It's very bad. There's actually a really nice video. I believe it's Nitro Rad. Maybe that's his name. No, not Nitro Rad. I think the video is called "I Played All of Babylon's Fall, so you don't have to." Yeah. I played all of Babylon's Fall, so you don't have to. It's by Austin Eruption. That's the name of it. It's a very interesting 35-minute video. He goes over everything that's fucking wrong with the game. He's been doing a series that's called I Played Blank 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 Game, so you don't have to, where he completes it 100% or as much as humanly possible in order to be able to give you his thoughts on the actual game. And it's actually a very good series. It's definitely worth checking out, especially his take on the Babylon's Fall one. It explains how the direction of the game from the get-go was already muddied and this, that, and the other. It's a really interesting video. I'd recommend if you want to know anything about just how bad Babylon's Fall is and why it has had its next 2 seasons of content that they spent so long working on, that they were more interested in the season passes and the DLC than the actual game itself. And it's already been canceled now. I recommend checking out that video so you can know a little bit more about it. And look at any of his videos that are I played blank blank game, so you don't have to. He did Balan Wonderland. He did Metal Gear Survive. And honestly, all of his videos are really informative and very interesting when it comes to those kind of videos. So highly recommend his stuff. And yeah, if you want to know more about Babylon's Fall, watch that video. There you go. So that's a thing. But yeah, that was canceled already by Square Enix. It didn't even last a year.
That was fast.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? Oh, other news thing. I just want to touch on this super fast, just because this episode's already super long. But I was gonna say I did want to talk super briefly about Splatoon. I'm not gonna go into full depth right now.
Yeah, go for it.
But I just want to say Splatoon 3 is excellent. If you like Splatoon 2, you will like Splatoon 3. But yeah, no, Splatoon 3 is excellent. I think that if you like the last one, you'll like this one too. It's definitely a very iterative sequel. Like, I don't think it really doesn't add like too much crazy stuff to be like, oh my god, this is a vastly different sequel and there's so much new things. I would say that there's lots of things that have been smoothed a little bit nicer. The like turf wars seem to run a little bit more fluid. They did add the single player is definitely much improved over, say, like the single player from, say, Splatoon 1 and 2. Maybe not Octopath, because Octopath was pretty exceptional. But definitely much improvements there. They have this kind of, what's it called? It's a new, like, card-based kind of Splatoon table turf, where you get, like, cards that have, like, flat shapes on them, and you put them down, and it's kind of like playing on, like, a grid-based turf war. I think that's really fun. There's tons of new weapons to play with. There's tons of new like gear to get. The game's really deep. Like there's a lot of stuff going on there. But I'll talk about it more next week. But if you're excited about it, I would say definitely you should play it. And also too, interestingly, Nintendo announced too. Apparently, Splatoon 3, news-wise, at least was
Mm-hmm.
the biggest launch ever in Japan. Not a Splatoon, like games. I don't know what time frame they're using because
Okay.
it's definitely not like forever. Um, but it sold 3.5 million units on launch, and that's sell through to customers, not like to stores. So, let me see if I can pull up the list of what the other ones were real fast. Uh, Does this have a list? Nope. I where are you thing? Yeah, so the next highest one on there was Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Mm.
Um, I can't see. I can't see the rest of the list. Oh no, but yeah, no, it sold really well. So, oh, that was pretty awesome. It definitely deserves it. Oh, here's the list I was looking at before. New Horizons was the next biggest at 2.68 million units.
Oh,
And
okay.
you have Pokemon Black 2.637, Final Fantasy 8 2.5, Dragon Quest 9 2.34. So it has. I mean, it did beat out quite a few big games. A lot of the recent Pokemon releases are on there. A lot of the recent Monster Hunter games are on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't know what time frame this is. Assuming it's probably just like launch week or launch weekend, or but yeah, no, it's really impressive. For any game to do that well. But Splatoon 3, it's like I never would have thought Splatoon was like one of Nintendo's heavy hitters in terms of like sales, or even like a video game heavy hitter in terms of sales. So it's pretty impressive for them to break that chart, I thought. So yeah,
Okay.
and that's it. That's all I got. We'll talk more Splatoon 3 next week. So I'm gonna give you a much more detailed breakdown. You ready to wrap it up?
No, because I just found out there's a Yakuza RGG Studios fucking stream tomorrow. And it was announced by my favorite wrestler. So that's fucking sick. Sorry, I
That's
just
cool.
want to throw that out there though. So yeah, apparently Inshin's not the only thing they have to announce. The actual studio behind Yakuza has their own conference tomorrow.
Da-da-da.
So that's fucking sick.
There is supposed to be quite a few announcements during TGS week, so I'm sure by the time I get back here next week, we'll probably be like, "Oh, here's a bunch of other things that were announced."
Absolutely. Let me see what time this is.
Supposedly, Konami is announcing something
Okay.
at TGS, and I don't know if you listen to the rumor mill. It's either going to be a Metal Gear game or a Silent Hill game. Don't think it's going to be anything new. It's probably just going to be a remake or
Mm.
remaster. But yeah, so there should be something exciting going on there. Oh, and everything starts on the 15th, so it's coming.
14th for the Yakuza stream is tomorrow. So that's neat. Damn it, I'm super excited for this now. I just want to watch this. I want to watch this now.
Well, it won't be that long. You can make it, Brandon. You can do it.
I'm gonna see what time that is in EST. Okay, so fuck. Wait a minute. Does that already happen? Did I miss it? I don't understand time zones for Japan, like, at all.
Japan's like I think 16 hours ahead. 15, 16.
Yeah, I guess so. That's 6 a.m. Oh, fuck.
13 hours ahead.
Yeah, that's 6 a.m. Fuck. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it for going to bed.
Well, see, there you go. That's even better for you. That's like your bedtime.
It's not
bedtime
actually.
snack.
Yeah, bedtime snack.
All right, you ready to wrap up?
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also check out our website, game-crunch.com, for the latest episodes. If you want to reach out to us, we're on Facebook, Twitter. You can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. Brandon, any final thoughts?
Yeah. I've got a lot of stuff. I went eBay hunting recently, so I went around to different places to get products for eBay. So maybe putting a lot of stuff up on eBay very, very soon. A lot of collectibles, a lot of very valuable collectibles that I paid not a lot for because I found them in nooks and crannies of fucking thrift shops and whatnot. So if anyone's interested in fully sealed boxes of basketball cards or porcelain collectible clocks or Blu-rays or anything like that, I will have them up on my eBay shop that I will give to you when everything is good to go. All the money that is coming in from the eBay shop right now is going towards my dog's surgery. So anything that sells, none of that money is really going to me. It's going straight into her operation. And I need all the help that's humanly possible, continuing to make money elsewhere as well. So we're doing our best. So if at all possible, if anyone could help, that would be a huge, that would be fantastic. If you can't or don't want to, also understandable. But yeah. So I guess that's what I'm dealing with right now.
Check out Brandon's eBay page.
Yeah, and you can also check out my Patreon. Not Patreon, sorry. GoFundMe that I made for my doggo. We're gonna have some videos up there soon. She just ran out of her medication, so she's not doing so good right now. So it's not a good idea to get videos for her at this moment in time. We're gonna try to get her some more medicine tomorrow to help her out. We got to find out if it's even okay to do so, and see if we could set the surgery and everything up. Maybe we could find a way to pay it in payments or something. But we're trying to tackle every avenue humanly possible because it's a lot, and it's a big issue. So there you go. We want her to be happy, and even though she is happy, because she'll try to run around, but that's not good for her. Yeah, I'm getting upset talking about it. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say we're doing everything we possibly can right now. So yeah, I'll give all that info to Mike, and he can post it or whatever, or share it or whatever. I don't
I shared your eBay before.
Okay.
I'll retweet it again. I'll
Okay.
retweet that retweet.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything to follow that up. But...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I brought everything down. I'm so sorry.
I do have a final thought this time.
Okay.
I switched. It's not exciting, but I switched to Team Violet. I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I canceled my Scarlet pre-order.
Really?
Yep.
So that's probably going to be Katie's birthday gift. That'll be like the one thing I do buy, because every year when there's a new Pokemon, I buy the double pack, and whichever one she wants, I give her, and then I take the other one, because I really don't particularly care between versions. I just would rather play it with her. So that's what I do.
See, I collect all the Pokemon anyways, so I mean, I'm not gonna buy both versions, but I'll play
you know, that just reminded me. So we found fully working Pokemon Yellow and Blue carts, as well as a Game Boy Color that we'll be putting up on the eBay. So if anyone's interested in those relics of the past, that'll be up on the eBay, and you can help us out by purchasing those. So there you go.
Retro is in right now.
Yep.
Anyways, with that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. Find me online, Clash Penguin on Twitter, or your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
But we probably should get started now, so we have the lead in before.
That sounds like a good idea, actually. Yeah, because we got 5 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hide chat, because chat is the worst thing about anything on YouTube.
Oh, I turned it off. That's what I was like, oh, ew.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to
Only-
Game Crunch.